Hello, this is Zach, and in this video I wanted to go over some examples of using built-in functions in RPGLE. So this is going to be geared more towards beginners. I'm just going to show a couple simple examples of using some built-in functions. So if you don't know what a built-in function is, it is basically a predefined function that is available to us for performing common tasks. So without having to create the functions ourselves. So these are tools that we can use while we're writing RPG programs. So the first one that I want to go over is the substring built-in function, and this is the IBMI documentation that explains. Okay, this is the documentation that explains this built-in function. So we see the parameters, and it gives us some description for it. So it basically returns a portion of an argument string. So I'm going to show an example of how to use that. So I'm going to create a new program called built-in function pogum.rpgle. And this is going to be totally free. And I'll just write the return so our program ends. And so to start out, I'm going to create a variable. It's going to be a standalone variable. And we'll just name it something like date char. And it's going to be type char, length of 8. And we'll initialize it with a date value, and we'll just use today's date. Oops. There we go. So we have a date. And now I'm going to use the substring built-in function to get the month, the day, and the year out of this variable. So we're going to declare some more variables for a month, char to month, day, and year. So day, char to declare year, char to. And so now that we have these, we can go ahead and use this substring built-in function. So looking back at the documentation, we're going to take our string that we want to get substrings of, and we're going to put our starting position. So wherever we want the start of our substring to begin, and then the length of it after that. So in this example, if we want to get the month of our substring, we're going to say month is equal to, and we're going to say substring, and then put our variable, date char. And then after that, we're going to be starting in position 1, and we're going to get a length of 2. So we're going to get our 08 as our month. So for day, equal to substring, day char. So we're going to be starting in 1, 2, 3, 4 for a length of 2. And then for our year, substring. You can also, Visual Studio gives you the option just to press tab on it, but it gives you all the parameters already in there. I don't really want that, but it's nice to see what all the parameters are. And then so for this one, it's going to be starting position 7 for a length of 2. 7, 2. So there we go. We have our month, day, and year. And so now we can display all those, and we can look at them in our job log. So I can say month, and then we can do plus month. This is just putting this into the job log. So I'll just copy that and say day, and we'll go year. So it labels it all nicely. There we go. We'll save that and compile it. Create a bound RPG program. And now that that's created, we can go into our green screen and say call built-in function pogum. And so if we do DSP job log and we do an F10, scroll up, we can see that after we called our built-in function, displays the month, the day, and the year, um, which is a substring of our original variable that was holding the whole date. So nice. So that's how we can do that. And so I'm going to go and create another character or another variable, and we'll call this one declare, and we'll say that this is date zoned. So if we have a zoned data type, we initialize that with the same value, but without the dashes, since a dash isn't a number. So let's say we have this zone data type and we want to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and copy this. And instead of date char, we want to change this to zoned. And our spacing is going to be a little bit different because we don't have the same amount of, we don't have the same length. So we're going to say first one is from 1 to 2, and then we go 3 to 4, 3, and it's a length of 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 2. And then we'll display the same thing, but I'll give this one a header that says display date zoned type. Just say that that's what this one is, just so we can tell the difference between that. So I'm going to save and compile, and we're going to get an error because in our substring built-in function, we're expecting a character data type in this position. So since this is a zoned, it's not going to allow us to perform this, and it's basically going to get ignored because it can't perform this action on something that's not a character data type. So what we can do is convert our zone data type into a char. And what we're going to want to do is there is a way to convert this by just doing %char, but we want to use a edit code because we have a leading 0 here and we don't want to drop our leading 0. If we convert this just straight, if we just do a normal conversion, we're gonna drop that leading 0. So to keep that, we're gonna use an edit code, and I'll show the documentation for the edit code. Let me pull it up. So here's the documentation that shows using edit codes, the parameters that it uses, and then there's some examples as well. So I recommend looking through that. There's a lot to look at in there, so I'm just going to show that we're going to be using the edit code and then the value x. So for this, right inside here, we can say edit code, put that in parameters, and with our edit code, we're going to use an x as our edit code. So right in here, we're converting this into a character, and then our substring, we're going to get the substring of it. And so this is some documentation that kind of goes into explaining what that X is doing. So you can read through that. Kind of shows an example here where it's converting it. So I recommend looking into that to learn more about it. But so I'm just going to copy this into each of our substrings. And once we have that, I think we have not enough. We have too many. I think I have too many parentheses. Okay. So let's see if that's going to work. Pressing Control S to save and then compiling. Okay, cool. And it liked that. So now let's go and try to run our program. Pressing F9 to get our previous commands. I'm going to call that. And then display F10, scroll up. And so we see our original, what we had before, and then data type zoned. and then we see we get the same result. The only difference being in the data type of our original variable. So cool. That was using the substring built-in function. So that was just a quick video going over that. And so I guess let me know if there's anything I could have done better with that, or if there's any questions in the comments. So cool. That's kind of all I wanted to go over. And I'm going to be planning on doing other videos with other built-in functions as well. So I guess look for that.